Carlos Alcaraz does not accept Rafa Nadal's decision. Carlos Alcaraz is already in ATP Finals mode, a tournament he hopes to win someday, but during the presentation, he was asked about Rafa Nadal's retirement, a reality that's difficult for him to accept. The tennis world is now immersed in its season finale, the ATP Finals, where the planet's top 8 players will battle it out starting this Sunday for the prestigious Masters Cup, the most important trophy after the 4 Grand Slams. Once again, Turin has turned into a tennis hub, hosting this exciting event. On Thursday, the draw took place, setting up the tournament brackets. Fortunately for Alcaraz, he won't be facing Jannik Sinner in the group stage. During the evening presentation, the Spanish player shared some personal thoughts about the event, the upcoming Davis Cup final in Malaga, where Rafa Nadal will officially retire from tennis, and his own goals. The young Mercian player, currently ranked world number 3, will share the team and possibly even the court with Nadal in the Andalusian city from November 19 to 24, aiming to win one of the few big trophies missing in his collection, the Davis Cup. But the question posed to Alcaraz was not about his ambitions in that event, it was about his feelings on Rafa's decision to retire. He responded candidly, saying that it's difficult for him to accept the permanent departure, from the court, of his idol. But he has a chance to make it a grand farewell. A tournament he hopes to win. For now, however, Alcaraz's focus is on the ATP Finals, where he's competing for the second time at just 21 years old. He hopes to improve on his 2023 performance, when he endured tough losses and failed to advance past the group stage. The tournament is also special for another reason. No Spaniard has won it since Alex Corretja in 1998, but Alcaraz is determined. I'm going to do everything possible to win the Masters someday. This year's opportunity is good, despite the formidable form of his rivals. Turin is decked out to welcome the 8 gladiators who will dazzle both locals and international fans. Streets throughout the city are adorned with event flags and banners, and the crowd turned out in force at the presentation to cheer on the players. Alcaraz, despite playing in his great rival's home, was one of the most celebrated and acknowledged it. I'm happy to feel the love from the Italian fans. In Spain, Sinner is also greatly respected. Above all, he's pleased that people enjoy watching him play. Carlos Alcaraz is approaching the final stretch of his season. The Mercian player has only 2 tournaments left, the Masters Cup and the Davis Cup Finals. 2 events that could cap off a great season but, most importantly, boost his morale as he heads into next year, when more consistency will be expected of him. In the end, beyond his victories at Roland Garros and Wimbledon, Alcaraz hasn't quite met the expectations this season. It's hard to say a player has fallen short of expectations after winning 2 Grand Slam titles and Olympic gold, but it's said because Carlos Alcaraz aspires to much more. He's a generational talent with everything it takes to dominate tennis for the next 15 years. Right now, he's winning, but not as consistently as he should. The Masters Cup, where he's in a favorable group, and the Davis Cup offer golden opportunities to enter 2025 with a fresh outlook and a major goal, world number 1. Winning Grand Slams is essential, especially in the conversation about the greatest players, but it's also key to accumulate time at the top of the rankings. This year, he hasn't managed even a single day as the world's top player, a situation he cannot allow, especially considering how far behind he is from his main rival, Jannik Sinner, who leads him by more than 4,000 points. Even Zverev, who he defeated in the Roland Garros final, is currently ahead in the ATP rankings. Lack of consistency. If there's one lesson Carlitos can take from this season, it's his lack of consistency. The young Mercian has had to play at his peak to win tournaments and even to reach final rounds, a reality that didn't apply to the big 3, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. These legends built their legacy on winning even when their game wasn't at its best. Winning while playing poorly is an art that very few can master. Alcaraz has taken a step back on hard courts. On clay and grass, he has no equal, his strokes adapt perfectly, and countering his game is practically impossible. Only Djokovic managed to stop him in the Olympic final held at Roland Garros. Everywhere else, he won with crushing superiority, making it look like he could win any time he wanted. However, the situation changes on fast courts. His level has dropped compared to previous years, as he won the US Open in 2022. His game has become easier to read, and he gets caught up in unforced errors, which makes it easier for his opponents. His inconsistency is evident, having only won 2 tournaments on this surface: Indian Wells, a slow hard court, and Beijing, where it seemed there might be a turning point. However, Shanghai and Paris-Bercy made it clear that Alcaraz struggles to find solutions when he's not at his peak. Those peaks are unsustainable long-term, and consistency is necessary. Being able to deliver at 70% of your capacity and still find ways to win is something Carlitos has lacked this year, and now he has 2 tournaments to turn things around. This should be the way to close out a great year and, above all, lay the foundation for 2025. The majority of the season is played on fast courts, where he needs to achieve better results. He has more than enough skill and work ethic to succeed. Everyone is eagerly waiting for him to return to the top spot sooner rather than later. Schedule and where to watch Carlos Alcaraz's ATP Finals debut against Ruud. The Mercian has faced the Norwegian 4 times before, with 4 wins for the Spaniard. When do Alcaraz and Ruud play? The match between Carlos Alcaraz and Casper Ruud will take place on Monday, November 11th, no earlier than 2 p.m. Where to watch Alcaraz vs Ruud? The match will be broadcast on Movistar Plus and its various online platforms. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. At Tennis Zone, we are dedicated to bringing you the best information for the best audience, sharing in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and comprehensive coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the excitement of the tournaments with us. At Tennis Zone, we strive to provide you with updated, high-quality content on players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant events in world tennis.